Alright, so we're back on the Bowie here. I've already gotten all this set up in previous videos, and now the next thing I'm going to do is turn the pommel nut. So to do that, I need to first figure out the thread size, which I already know since I did the threads. It was 632. If you didn't know that, you could double check it by measuring the thread. Well, to do that, I'm going to need a tap. So this is a 632 spiral flute or gun tap. This is generally good for through holes because it pushes the chip in front and they don't tend to jam. In this case, I'm not going to have a through hole, but it'll be deep enough that I can use this to go in. I prefer these because they break less. You can also use a starting tap or taper tap like this. This is thins near the tip so that it's easier to keep it going in straight, which would then be followed by what's called a bottoming tap, which you can see has threads all the way to the end. Now these do not push the chips in front of them, so they're just going to be sitting in here. So when you use either of these, you need to turn back, turn back, turn back to break the chip so that it'll pop through. They work very well, but they are a little more cumbersome to use. So now I need to figure out what size hole to drill for the tap. It will not be, even if it's a fractional size, if I'm doing 1/4 inch threads, I can't use a 1/4 inch drill bit or the tap will just drop through. So to figure out that, you can either measure the root diameter, which is the diameter at the bottom of the thread, and backward calculate it, or you can use this very handy chart, which is called a Sterrett chart. It gives decimal equivalents as well as thread sizes. So the first thing I'll do is I'll look here, this is tap size, and I'll go down this chart here until I find the tap size I'm using, which is 632. We're going to go for a little bit of a close-up of this. So you can see here we have 632 under tap size. This is my decimal equivalent and my drill bit size. Now I have all the information I need to drill the proper size hole for the tap drill. These charts are awesome. They give you all kinds of great information. Not only do they have that, but they also give you the decimal equivalents of all of the different letter drill sizes. And on the back side, it gives the same for the metric. You can usually pick these up for just a couple of dollars from most tool supply stores, and every once in a while you'll see them just kind of for free. Really worth having a bunch of these around the shop. We actually have one that's a large chart on the wall as well, just so we don't have to ever worry about looking for it. I keep this one in my toolbox. Now that I know what size drill bit I need, I'll go to my drill index here and find the proper size. In this case it is 36, which I've already removed here. These are great, but you got to make sure that you put them back in the same place. And I'm usually pretty good about it, but I'm not always the best. So I would make a habit of checking the drill bit before I use it. That is perfect. So now I'm ready to start drilling on the lathe. This is going to be my stock. This is just an old punch I just dug up that happened to be the right size. It's about a 3/8, I think. 315. Yeah, about 3/8. A little under 3/8 of an inch. Like 5/16 round brass, which will be pretty good for this size pommel nut. And I'll just machine off the face and then drill a hole, tap it, cut it off, and machine a little ball, and that'll be next. Alright, now that I have this threaded, we'll double check the threads here. Ooh, look at that. Like they were made for each other. Like that. And now I'm just going to file some flats on the edges of this ball. Partly to tighten things up, but also so that I have a better reference on the edges for the hole. This will look nice. Good. Slice is getting beat. So. Good. Alright, so we'll call that part finished. So there we go. Next up is fitting and mounting the wooden handle.